Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiya wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 75, Alhamdulillah. And we are going to start with the review. Before I go to the review, I'm going to quickly go over what we have done in our last session. I'm going to give you a quick recap, and inshallah, then we'll do our review and we'll learn one more topic, inshallah, real quick. So, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So, we have learned in our Jumla Ismiya, tools of negation are la nafiya tulil jins, ma, laysa, in, lata. Those were the 6 terms that I wanted each and every one of you to be familiar with. If you see all these 6, you must know that they are your tools of negation for Jumla Ismiya. Then we went over La Nafiya, and in case of La Nafiya, the sentence that is negated by simple plain La Nafiya, there is no change to the i'rab of the sentence. And this La Nafiya will come twice. It will repeat. And we have seen multiple examples from Quran, and you can see some right in front of you, some verses from your Musaf, Surah As-Safat, La fiha gawlun wala hum anha yunzafun. So the la was repeated twice. In every case, you see la being repeated. So did not change the i'rab of the jumla ismiya. You can see fiha mutalik bil khabar and mubtada remained in its original form. There was no change to mubtada or khabar. It did not change the i'rab, and the only point that we were supposed to keep in mind was that there will be a repetition or takrar of la nafiya. I hope this was clear to each and every one of you. Type 1 if it was. Okay. Then we learned about la nafiya to lil jins. La nafiya to lil jins, the thing that we were supposed to learn about it was la nafiya to lil jins has an ism that is light and is common and is nasb. Light, common, nasb. Okay. The next point that I wanted you all to learn about La Nafiya to Lil Jins was its ism cannot be distanced from it. So in every case where we will find La Nafiya to Lil Jins, its ism is going to be right next to it. There was another point that I wanted you all to be well versed with was that you will notice that sometimes its khabar can be mahzoof, and when it is mahzoof, it is it is said that what the word that is mahzoof is mawjudun. Okay, mawjudun is the word that is mahzoof. For example, if I give you la ilaha, so the word that is missing here is mawjudun. Okay, and this is a tricky one, so we will not go over that. Mahzoof means omitted. Mahzoof means that's not there. Just like, when you were learning about your Alif Maksura era, like, it is the Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra is not visible. Something that is omitted or is not visible. Something you cannot, it is omitted, not there. Make sense or no? Right? We have used this term in the past as well. So, it's just a repetition of the previous terminology. And I did give a disclaimer to you all when I was teaching you La Nafiyatul Lil Jins that its ism that we are going to learn for this class, for the purpose of this class, is light, nasb, and common, but its ism can be of different types as well, which could be mudaf or shabib bil mudaf. But since I did not want to teach you and did not want to overwhelm you with a lot of information, I just will focus on what is going to be seen in Quran most commonly. You will see this la raiba, la ilma, la ikraha fid din multiple times in Quran, la ilaha multiple times in Quran. The next two types, the next two isms of la nafiyatul lil jins are not commonly seen in Quran. Hardly, I don't remember seeing an example, but don't quote me on that. So, since it's not common, we were not going to learn them at this stage. We may learn them later on, but not right now. Important point that we learned about La Riba or La Nafiyatul Lil Jins and its ism was that when La Nafiyatul Lil Jins is there, the meaning changes somewhat, right? There's more emphasis. You can use the word absolutely not, or you can sometimes use not a single doubt, right? So it is negating, it is showing the absence of entire species of whatever ism is there, like not a single kind of doubt is in the book, right? The book, this is from Surah Al-Baqarah, so this he is talking about Quran, so not a single kind of doubt is there in Quran, and we all agree to that, right? So that is the connotation that this la gives. And then I showed you an example here, la nafiya versus la nafiyatul lil jins. When I say la rajula qaimun by using la nafiyatul lil jins, I take into account the entire men in the crowd. I am not just, talking about one person. I'm saying not a single man is standing. Okay? I hope this was clear. So, however, any other kind of law that you might see that does not take into account of each and every person in that crowd. Okay, so when I say not a single doubt, where is the single doubt coming from? This lil jins word, lil jins, the entire species of doubt is absent in this book. There is not a single type of compulsion, not a single form of compulsion allowed in religion. When we say la ikraha fid din, la ilma lana, not as any, not any, I have no knowledge, we have no knowledge at all of except what you taught us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this was the statement of angels when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the news of creation of Adam alayhi salam. La ilma lana illa ma allamtana. Except what you taught us. Otherwise, we have no other form of knowledge except what you taught us. So I hope you understand where this not a single type is coming, where you have to take an account of each and everything there, right? Okay. Then we learned about our jumla ismiya can be negated by in nafiya, right? And in nafiya, we had learned in the past with jumla fi'liya as well. The in nafiya that we see in jumla fi'liya, we used to call it a ghair amila. Why we were calling it ghair amila? Because it was not bringing any change to the i'rab of the sentence. Do you all agree or no? Yes? Okay. Alhamdulillah. So keep that in mind that when we see in nafiya ghair amila, it is only going to be in the case of jumla fi'liya. There is another type of in nafiya that acts like laysa. So what will be the type of, how will it work? Who can tell me? If in works like laysa, so what will happen to the sentence of what will happen to the khabar? If in starts to work like laysa, it will change the i'rab. If in starts to work like laysa, it will change the i'rab of jumla ismiya. So when it changes the i'rab of jumla ismiya, what will happen to the khabar? It will mainly changes occur to the khabar, right? Ism remains the same, but khabar changes. The khabar then becomes nasb in status, right? Khabar becomes nasb in status. Always remember that. So, and the type of in that we see in Quran, most commonly, the most common type of in that we are seeing in 99.999% of cases is in that cannot change the i'rab. Okay, and that happens because of presence of, what do you think makes in not work? Is there anything in the sentence that you are seeing in the verses? Illa. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. The illa, if it is there, it does not let in work the way it should work. And this type of in that you are going to see in Quran in 99.99% of cases in with jumla ismiya is called in nafiya muhmila. Is that clear? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So then, so three types of in غير عاملة works on jumla fi'liya. In amila works like laysa, its khabar is mansoob, not seen in Quran. Number third type, In muhmila, which is seen with illa in Quran, this is the most common type seen in Jumla Ismiya. It's the type that is seen in Quran, and it comes with illa because of illa, its action gets cancelled. Therefore, it is called muhmila. It was able to work, but could not work because of the presence of harf illa. Everyone with me so far? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Then, yes, I know. That is why I am reviewing everything with you. So, and I'm going to go over the practical application of whatever we learned in our session number 74. Okay. So, Laysa. We learned about Laysa. What was Laysa? Laysa was fail naqis, right? Incomplete fail. And I told you for a fail to be tam, most of af'al that we have learned in our term one beginning, in term two beginning of our term two, Laysa is not like them. Why? Because fail tam has pronoun, action, pronoun, and number third is it has time or tense attached to it. Okay, time, action, pronoun, three things must be there in a fail to be tam. Laysa was deficient of action. It did not have an action. Therefore, it was called fil naqis. The second point was, it is also called jamid. And if this point you don't remember, I don't worry about it because it does not have any other form. Therefore, it is frozen. It is jamid. It's just like, it's in one form. Okay, no present tense, no command forms. Therefore, I'm going to call it fil jamid. It conjugates like fail. And which type of fail does it conjugate like? Its conjugation follows madin or mudari. It When you look at the table, it's like madi, right? Fail madi. Laysa, laysa, laysu, laysat, laysata, lasna, lasta, lastuma, lastum, lasti, lastuma, lastunna, lastu, lasna. Everyone understood this so far? Okay. So it conjugates like fail madin. It has a pronoun. Like any fail, it does have a pronoun. But the pronoun in Laysa cannot be called a doer. Why? Because it does not have an action. Since it does not have an action, doer is for an action. We cannot call it file because it does not have an Laysa itself does not have an action. Therefore, the name that is given to the pronoun in Laysa or an ism that comes after its hu or hiya version is ismu Laysa. Ismu laysa because it is not doing any action, right? Then we learned the khabar of laysa is going to be either nasb or fi mahalli nasbin. Its khabar is nasb or fi mahalli nasbin. Then there was another point that we learned in our last session that laysa can have something attached to its khabar. And that something is bazaida, right? And that is to bring more emphasis. There is nothing extra about it, right? There's nothing extra about it. It is just to bring more emphasis. It is to negate strongly, okay? To make negation stronger, we see khabar of laysa attached to bazaida. Okay, so this was why it is nakis, and this was how it is a helping, works like helping verbs. It is are not, is not, am not of English. Laysa works like is not, are not, and am not of English, right? Was this clear so far? This part we have done, that the isms, ismu laysa is the pronoun of the that is inbuilt in the field. Okay, and then was the bazaida point, that you to emphasize the negation more, the khabar is going to have bazaida. So we have learned that khabar of laysa is nasb status. Therefore, whatever comes with bazaida, we call it, if it is if not whatever or anything, when it is working like a khabar, then we call that as khabru laysa with ba zaida, which is mansoob muhallan, because we know that this was in actuality the khabar of laysa in case of laysu subhu bi qarib. So subhu ismu laysa bi qaribin khabru laysa. It is in actuality mansoob because it was khabru laysa. Zalamin is in actuality Zalaman. To bring more emphasis, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used Bazaida, right? So that is why we call Mansoob Mahallan but Majroor Lafzan. It is Jar wal Majroor, but we do not call it. What are we not going to call this Jar wal Majroor? What is Jar wal Majroor in any sentence? Mutalik bil Khabar. But here, do we call it Mutalik bil Khabar? No, when a word is there that is a khabar, that can be the khabar for laysa, you do not call it mutalik bil khabar. You are going to call it khabru laysa with ba zaida. And I'm going to, I know this part is little confusing. That is why today's session was meant for review and practice. Okay, inshallah. Am I going too fast? We're good? So far, we have learned Laysa, Naqis. Why Naqis? No action. Ismu Laysa is the pronoun inbuilt in Laysa, or ism after huwa hiya version is going to be Ismu Laysa. Khabru Laysa is going to be Nasb or fi mahalli nasbin. And sometimes we do see Laysa attached to ba zaida. Okay? And this is done to make khabar more emphatic, to negate strongly. Okay? To negate strongly, ba zaida is added to the khabar of laysa. So if I give you this, let's just understand it here. Let me show you on my thing. Let me just make it the morning is near. What is this, Ranas? The morning. If I ask you, this is going to be, it's a subject. The morning is a subject, right? The morning is near. The morning is the subject of the sentence. And is near is what? It's a predicate of what? Or khabar. What do you think? Is near. Is near. Is it giving you any information? Right? Is near is giving you information, right? Yes, it is zarf, but we are not going to, yes, it is zarf, but we are not going to treat it like that, right? We are going to just see it as our qareeb. Yes, it has some time attached to it, is near, it's coming near, it sounds like it, but right now it's not going to be treated like that. Just think of it in a regular jumla ismiya, where it is just like yomu is sometimes yomu, haza yomuddin, this is the day of recompense. Just think about it like that. So you are going to call it khabar. Everyone is clear with this, right? The morning is near. So what should be the status of morning? Rough in status? Okay, so the morning is rough in status, and what is the status of near? Jumla ismiya, and this is also rough in status, but since it is a khabar, I'm going to make it blue. Okay. Now, the morning is not near. Okay. The morning is not near. Okay. So now is not is giving you the entire information. So probably is not is coming from what? Do we have is not in Arabic? Is not is laysa, right? Is not is laysa, right? So this is laysu subh, laysu subhu, right? Laysu subhu. Everyone understood this? What did I teach you about the khabar of laysa? What should be the status of near? It should be nasbin status. Qariban. Qariban. But I want to say not at all near. What should I do now? I have to add not at all. Not. It's not near. Add ba. You all agree? When I add ba to near, what will happen to near now? The meaning will change, but what will happen to the i'rab of near? Will it remain nasb status? It will become jar. Lafzan, it will become jar. But mahallan, it is going to be nas, because this is the khabar. I know this is the khabar. This is the information about morning. And there are more examples that we are doing in today's session. Okay. Mahallan means it is in the place of something. Mahallan means that was the place of a mansoob ism. That is mahallan, mansoob mahallan. It is the place of a mansoob ism. But since we needed to add more emphasis, it was taken up by a majroor ism. We know when I write mahallan, mansoob mahallan, that means that I know that this is supposed to be nasb, but for added emphasis, I had to use ba, and it is structurally jar in status, but in actuality, it is nasb in status. Is it clear or no? Just like I told you, I have to make it more emphatic. Whenever I have to make it emphatic, I will have to add ba. I'm not using ba to you for the meaning of in, on, with, accompanied by. No, I am using ba just to make my khabar more emphatic. Therefore, it cannot be mutalik bil. It is going to be making my word structurally jar in status. I'm going to still call it jar wal majroor, but this is in actuality the place of my khabru laysa. This was the place of my khabru laysa. So mahal is the place. So this was the place of my khabru laysa. Therefore, and the khabar of laysa is nasb in status. That is why mansoob mahallan majroor lafzan. That by word it is majroor, but in actuality it is mansoob. Should we do more examples and make it more clear? Okay, we'll keep on doing. Okay. Anna Allah laysa bizalamin lil abid, zalamin lil abid. So let's take this example. Okay. And before I take you to, let me just, go back to this 1 second. Okay, I'm going to, Allah is not cruel to his slaves. So, is not, where is not coming from in Arabic? Lafzan, laysa. So, do I see laysa, laysa? Laysa, Allah is not. So, indeed, Allah, or He is not. If we just keep it like that, He is not cruel to His slave. So, we know that laysa will suffice, right? Laysa will suffice. So, what should be the status of what is cruel doing here? What is the place of cruel here? He is the subject. Cruel is the predicate, which is the khabar, right? It's a khabar. What is to his slaves? Lil abid. Jar wal majroor. And this jar wal majroor is going to be called to his slaves. Lil abid is going to be called mutalik bil khabar. But now I have to say, so what was the status you gave me for cruel? What was the status? You gave me nasb status to cruel, right? Nasb is because Khabru Laysa is Nasb in status, right? Khabru Laysa is Nasb in status. Khabru Laysa is Nasb in status. So now, I don't want to say is he is not cruel to his slaves. I want to say he is not at all. And for at all, I have to add bar to my cruel. So now what will be the status of cruel? What will happen to the status? What will it look like? It will look jar in status. So lafzan, it is jar in status. Lafzan, it is jar in status. But what is the status of khabar of laysa? It is nasbin status, right? Or fi mahalli nasbin, right? So it is, when I say mansoob mahallan, that means I understood that khabar of laysa is nasbin status, and it is just ba is there for added emphasis. How do I know that ba is there for added emphasis? When I write my i'rab that way. Okay. I hope some fog is disappearing or still the same. Aisha? Okay. We have a lot of practice, so let's just, do this, and we are going to, inshallah, master this in no time. So, laysa bi kharijim minha. So, let me give you the translation for this. And he is not at all coming out from it. So, he is not. So, he is not is going to be laysa. If I remove at all, the one who comes out, kharijan. It was in fact kharijan, because khabru laysa is nasbin status. But I want to say at all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to tell you he's not at all coming out from the fire. He is going to stay there forever and ever. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala added ba zaida. And this ba zaida attached itself to the khabar and made it look like jar. But in fact, it is nasbin status. That is why you are going to call either fi mahalli nasbin or mansoob mahallan. That is, I know it is mansoob, and this ba is just zaida for added emphasis. From it, minha is going to be what? Mutalik bil khabar, right? It is jar wal majroor, mutalik bil khabar. Let's look at another example. Laysu biha bikafirin. Same thing. Bikafi, it was laysu biha kafirina. This ba is making this word lafzan. It is jar in status. But what is the place of kafirina? Ba is zaida. Again zaida. And in actuality, this was laysu biha kafirina, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said at all. At all, I wanted to add at all, emphasize the negation. Therefore, ba was added. It will remain the same because nasb jar form in case of masculine plural is the same. So therefore, again we are going to say majroor lafzan. Yes, because of jar wal majroor. I know this is jar wal majroor fragment. I have not forgotten my term 1 concepts. It is jar wal majroor, but I have, in my second part of my term 2, I have learned ba zaida attaches itself to khabar of laysa to make it more emphatic, to bring the meaning of at all. Okay? So that is why this is mansoob mahallan. And same is the case with bikafin. Okay? So khabar of laysa can be emphasized by addition of which harf? Ba. And this ba is called ba zaida for added emphasis. In Quran, as I've been saying in the past as well, there is nothing extra. This is for added emphasis. Then we learned in our last session, session number 74, ma nafiya. And you have learned ma nafiya before as well. I taught you the ma nafiya that negates jumla failure is called ghair amila. Ghair amila does not work. Does it change the i'rab? Ma yash'uruna? Any change to the i'rab? No, it remained in default marfu form. Never changed. Never changed any i'rab. Fama rabihat tijaratuhum. No change in your slides there. No change to the i'rab of the sentence. Therefore, ghair amila. But then I told you that there is a ma that is al-Hijaziyah. It's an amila, and it's called, its name, fancy name for it is al-Hijaziyah. It works similar to laysa. So what will be special about this ma? What is different in laysa? When it enters jumla ismiya, what change does it bring to jumla ismiya that you have learned? The khabar is changed, right? Khabar is changed, number one. Number one, the khabar gets changed to what? Instead of rafin status, it is now nasbin status. Number 2 point is khabar can have ba zaida attached to itself. Hmm? Everyone with me so far? Is this clear to everyone? So ma haza basharan. If I expect my jumla ismiya, it should have been haza basharun, right? So I know that this ma is amila. Why? Because my khabar was nasbin status. My khabar was nasbin status, and I know this ma is working like laysa. Now, instead of calling these haza as mubtada, I can now call it ismu ma and basharan as khabru ma, since ma is amila and it changed the i'rab of my jumla ismiya. Everyone with me so far? Okay. Then, as I said, ma can also have ba zaida attached to its khabar, and we can see here wamallahu bighafilin. Let me take you back again. Is not unaware. Allah is not unaware. What is Allah? Lafzul Jalala. Give me, it is, yes, or you can just call it, just think about it now. Is not is there. Is not is there. So where is not number one? Where is not coming from? From ma. Okay. So Allah is your mubtada, is unaware. Now, so if it is ma and I see mallahu, mallahu. So what should have been the happen to unaware? What should be the status of unaware? And what is unaware? Number one, what is unaware? If Allah is mubtada, what is unaware? Khabar, right? Everyone understood? Is it not giving you information about lafzul jalala? Does anyone have any question about that? Number one step is that. So it should be nasbin status. So it should be mallahu ghafilan, just like ma hadha basharan, right? Mallahu ghafilan. Make sense or no? So now but I want to say Allah is not at all unaware. I have to add at all to my sentence. So what should I do? Add ba to what? I am going to add ba, but to khabar or to ism? To Allah or to khabar? Ghafilan, right? So what will happen to now ghafilan? Will it remain nasbin status? Will it look nasbin status? It will look jar and status now. So it is jar lafzan. But what is the khabar of ma that acts like laysa? It is nasbin status. So we again will call mansoob mahallan majroor lafzan. Making sense or no? For ma to work like laysa, my dear sisters, remember one thing. For ma to work like laysa, Jumla ismiya should be in the regular sequence. And what is the normal sequence of Jumla ismiya? What is the normal order of Jumla ismiya? Mubtada khabar, Mubtada khabar, Mubtada khabar. Everyone with me? Mainly, we will focus on Mubtada and Khabar, my dear sisters. If I ask you, Mubtada Khabar are the most important parts, okay? Mubtada Khabar, Mubtada is first, then Khabar. So, is Mubtada here number one and then followed by Khabar, right? The second thing for Ma to work like Laysa is it must not have illa between Mubtada and Khabar. Does it have illa between them? Haza, Basharan, does it have illa in between? No. So can I call that this Ma is acting like Laysa then? All the conditions met. Alhamdulillah. And same is the case with Mallahu bi ghafilin. Mubtada first, followed by khabar. And now since Ma is Amila, I can call Lafzul Jalala as Ismu Ma and bi ghafilin khabru Ma with Ba Zaida litawqid. Amma is going to be mutalik bil khabar and Ta'maluna is Silatul Mawsul la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. So Allah is not at all unaware about what you all do. About what you all do. Yes, Allah will cancel everything. But Allah will cancel everything when it is between Mubtada and Khabar. Remember that point as well. If it is not between Mubtada and Khabar, if it is not separating Mubtada and Khabar and it's coming towards the end of the sentence, doesn't matter. If it separates the Mubtada and Khabar, then it will cancel the effect of Ma or in. Okay? Ma or in will not act like Laysa if the Mubtada, if their ism and if their Mubtada and Khabar are separated by illa. Okay? So illa must be here. Illa must be here if it is to cancel the effect of ma. Okay, and if the effect of ma is cancelled, so what will happen to the khabar now? If there was an illa, what will happen to khabar now? Very well done. Khabar is going to be rough in status. Khabar is going to be rough in status, and ma is going to be called muhmala. Okay, ma is going to be called muhmala. It is going to be rough in status. Okay, so the last one is lata, and it is only used once in Quran or twice in Quran. It is used twice in Quran. I will, just keep in mind that this is also one of the particles, one of the haruf that can negate Jumla Ismiya. Special thing about it is it's ism and khabar. It works like laysa. It also works like laysa. It's ism and khabar are the isms of time. Okay, it has to be the word. It works only with words that denote time. Like it will work with hina, awana, sa'a, or there is another word waqt. So it only works with isms that have to do something with time. So hina means what? Who remembers from their word to word? What is the meaning of hina? Isn't it time? Waqt, yeah? Hina is time. There's no time for escape or something. Okay? So hina means time. Okay? So it will work. Lata is only going to negate sentence that it works with words that denote time. You have to just remember this, and there are two examples, and they're the same. Another interesting thing is about this word is when it negates Jumla Ismiya, either the ism is present or khabar is present. So here, what do you think? It works like laysa. Lata is harf nafi. What is hina? Is it ismu lata or khabru lata? What do you think? So everyone with me? That is all you need to learn about it. Either the khabar will be present or an ism will be present. They cannot be both present simultaneously. Remember that about this word. Only will be seen with words denoting time only will be seen with words denoting time, and its khabar and ism cannot be present simultaneously. At the same time, they will not be present. So here we only see the khabru lata. Ismu lata is omitted. Will it be something that you will be able to understand? There are two examples. Please note them down. You have the notes. So try to keep them in mind. Okay, inshallah. Because that is going to be helpful. Okay, this is something that, makes you superior to, your peers. Not superior in that sense, knowledge wise. Okay, you will be well versed with each and every word of Quran. That's the purpose of learning grammar, right? Or anything. But if you are learning word to word, you want to know each and every word of the Quran. Similarly, if you're learning grammar, you also want to know the grammar of each and everything. The same thing, I think it's the same way it has been used. I'm going to give you, if I will add to the slides if you want that. Okay, I will add the second ayah too. Okay. So now I'm going to now take you to, before I do anything, I'm going to take you to the review. Okay. So the last point of additional emphasis is min zaida. Are you talking about min zaida? If that is something you have question on, I have this was a topic. Yes, my dear, this was a topic that we are going to cover today. Okay, but I don't think I am going to be able to go over it, but inshallah, I will try my best. Okay, but because we have long review. Okay, inshallah, bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's start. La rafatha. What is coming to your mind? La rafatha. La. Is it simple la, or there is something, or la that is? No, 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 no. Look at the ismu la too. Don't just go to takrar alone. Okay, we are going to look at whatever is coming next. Did it bring any change to the i'rab of the sentence? Yes, it did. It changed the ism, and now this rafatha is not going to be called. What is it going to not going to be called? It is now attributed to la. This is la nafiyatu lil jins, right? La nafiyatu lil jins. Rafasa is going to be called ismu la, right? Because it's not rough in status. It's not like la khawfun alayhim. This la is la nafiyatu lil jins. Is it clear, my dear sisters? La nafiyatu lil jins. Wala fusuqa. Again, wow. And does not mean that la nafiyatul lil jins cannot repeat itself. There will be no takrar seen in la nafiyatul lil jins. Yes, the other one will have takrar and then it will be working the way it works. But this one can have takrar. It does not mean that, it cannot have takrar, it cannot have repetition, right? So it's atf. Again, this la nafiyatul lil jins ismu la wala. Again, atf and, matuf, number 2, 3, number 1, 2. Fil hajji. What will be fil hajji? No problem, my dear sister. That's how you learn that you have to look at the i'rab of the sentence as well. It is for the la nafiya, for takrar one, you see an ism that is unchanged. That is, it does not do any change to the i'rab of the sentence. That la, that is la nafiya and is غير amila and does not bring in, it does not change the i'rab of jumla ismiya, right? But here you see there is a change to the i'rab of jumla ismiya, right? Rafatha is now nasbin status, light, right? Not in its default form. Rough, light, common, right? So it looks like ism of la nafiyatul lil jins. So this is la nafiyatul lil jins. Everyone agrees or no? Okay, let's go to the next one. Bismillah. Ma ala rusuli illa al balaghu. Ma ala rusuli illa al balaghu. So ma, what is this ma? Very well done. So now when I see ma, that has lost its function. That has lost its function. Should I call it ghair amila or should I call it muhmila in jumla ismiya? muhmila, right? It could act, but could not act. Why? Why could it not act, my dear sisters? Give me the reason. Illa, number one, illa. Number two reason for that. And I'm not expecting you to be very well versed with, because there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. Number two reason is mubtada is muakhar, right? Your mubtada of the sentence is muakhar. It has to be at the beginning. It must follow the normal sequence of jumla ismiya for ma nafia to work like laysa. So ma was able to work, lost its function because of number one illa, number two because the sequence was not the sequence that we expect for it to work. So therefore this is going to be ma nafia, which is muhmila, and al balagu is going to be called mubtada, is not going to be now called ismuma, not at all. Okay, ala rusuli is mutalikul khabar. Everyone with me? Illa is harf istafna, right? Was it easy or too hard? Jumla ismiya, either muhmala or hijaziya, or which is also amila. Okay, only two types. Ghair amila only goes with jumla fi'liya. Okay, when it comes to ma. Okay, then I have walastum bi akhidhihi. What do you think? Okay, so lastum, again jumla ismiya, right? Because laysa enters jumla ismiya because it does not have an action. So what are we looking for? Number one, what is antum? So who is ismu laysa? Number one, we are going to look for, after lastum, we are going to look for ismu laysa. And ismu laysa is going to be either you can call it antum, or ta is the ismu laysa and mim is for jama. When you write it like that, it means that you know the complete and you have understanding of your Arab, right? So ta is going to be ismu laysa, mim is for jama, and that is how you know that you are going to translate it as you all are not. You all are not. Then comes bi-akhidhi. What is this? Very well done. Very well done. Khabru laysa with ba zaida mansoob mahallan majroor lafzan. And what is he? Majroor bil idafa, right? Idafa, majroor bil idafa. Everyone understood it, right? It seems like you know there was an idafa there, right? Any questions? Lastum ala shay'in. So this is the same. So ta is going to be ismu laysa. Ala shay'in is going to be labeled as. What is the labeling for this jar wal majroor? It's going to be MBK. Lasta mu'minan. So what do we see here? Lasta. After lasta, I'm going to call ta as ismu laysa, barakallahu fiq, and mu'minan is going to be labeled as khabru laysa. Lastu. I am not at all. Lastu ismu laysa is, who is ismu laysa? Ta damma, right? Tu is ismu laysa, which is ta. You will say ta is ismu laysa. Alaykum is going to be called MBK, barakallahu fiq, jar wal majroor MBK. Be wakilin, one who guards. Huh? One who who is the dash of the affairs. What is the term? Now I one who takes care of the affairs. So this is bi wakilin is your khabru laysa with bazaida. So mansoob mahallan majroor lafzan or fi mahalli nasbin. Everyone with me so far? Is this too hard? Is it not looking like a khabar? Wakil is not khabar, is not coming in the place of khabar. Yes. So yes, I will, address that, and after, let's just quickly finish this. Okay. Lastu. What will you look for? Number one. Again, alaykum is mutalik bil khabar, my dear sister, just like you do with your jar wal majroor in any sentence. Alaykum mutalik bil khabar. Okay. Lastu. Again, ta is going to be ismu laysa. Is jumla ismiya. What is this hamza? No, no, no. Yes, ana is the pronoun. What is this hamza? Istifham. Any i'rab for this hamza? Why? Huh? Why? It's a very good job. It is la muhalla lahu min al-i'rab because it's a very well done. Very well done. Am I not your Rabb? So be Rabbi. What do you think? Be Rabbi. Khabru laysa. Jar wal majroor. Yes, it is jar wal majroor. But this is khabru laysa. Rabb. Isn't it giving you information about am I not your Rabb? Rabb is not information, or my dear sisters? Any confusion about this? It is giving you information. It is like a khabar, right? So khabru laysa is what in status? What is the khabar of laysa? Khabar of laysa is always nasb in status. So mansoob mahallan majroor lafzan. Enkum is majroor bil idafa. Lastum. Again, LJMN. Yes. So what is this standing? I have come up with this LJMN. What is LJMN? Lafzan jar. Oh, okay. Mahallan nas. Barakallahu fi. Very well done. So I'm now going to understand the sign language, inshallah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be, just tell me whatever you use and I will try to memorize. Okay, inshallah. So you should give me some homework too. Okay, it should not be coming only from me. You all have right to give me some homework too. That I use this abbreviation. I want you to remember this for me, and I will do so. Okay. So lastum, again, ta is your ismu laysa. So that means that now your mubtada is going to be called ismu laysa. Lahu is going to be what? متعلق بالخبر جار والمجرور متعلق بالخبر برازقين برازقين. It is jar wal majroor, but now this is khabru laysa. Razikina. You are not at all ones who provide for him. So ones who provide for him, providers. So is it not, giving you information about you all? Is it not? Technically, if you go to your grammar or the basic concepts, everything is clear. I hope it is. Okay. So everyone is with me so far? I'm moving forward then. Yes. Lastunna ka ahadin. Lastunna ka ahadin. So who is going to be the ismu laysa? So antunna. So if I have to ask you, where is the pronoun? Who is the pronoun in case of lastunna? Is it tunna or ta? No. Noon is just for noon mushaddada is just for feminine plural. This ta is a pronoun, right? Ta is a pronoun, my dear sisters. Ta was called taul file. That was a pronoun. But now I cannot call it file anymore because laysa does not have an action. So I'm going to call ta as ismu laysa. Noon mushaddada, which is li jama'il inath, means for feminine plural, is there just for feminine plural there. And ka ahadin is going to be labeled as you all are not like anyone out there. It is going to be mutalik bil khabar. And we have seen sometimes our jumla may have mutalik bil khabar alone or khabar alone, just like in any jumla ismiya. Is it getting somewhat clearer? Why not khabar? Ka ahadin. Ka ahadin. Jar wal majroor. Ka ahadin. Jar wal majroor. So jar wal majroor in jumla ismiya is called mutaliq bil, right? Okay. Lasta. Lasta. Ismul laysa is ta. Ta is ismul laysa. Ta fata means anta, right? And so basically anta is ismul laysa. Alayhim jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Be musaytir. Be musaytir. So what is that? Khabar with ba zaida, mansoob, mahallan, majroor, lafzan. Laysat tawbah. So what happened here? Laysat tawbah. So for tajweed, this kasra is there. This is a temporary kasra. This is just for iltaqai sakinain. Barakallahu feek. It was laysat. So after laysat, what do we look for? Should we look for something? Ismu laysa. Do we find one? At-tawbatu. Right? Can it be ismu laysa? Everyone? Come back. Ism that was marfu in status and is seen after laysa or laysat is going to be ismu laysa, right? We learned it. Lillazina. What am I going to label this? No, ta is not ismu laysa anymore. Now at-tawbatu is going to be ismu laysa because it is firing here. It fired the pronoun here in laysat. Lillazina is going to be mutaliq bil khabar. Allazina. After allazina, what should I look for? Sila. Do we find one? What kind of sila do we have? Jumla failure. Ya'maluna. Wow is the doer. As-sayyati. What is the labeling for as-sayyati? Nasbin status because it is maf'ul bihi for now. Yeah. So we are going to call it maf'ul for now, and because this is la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. Lillazina is MBK, and this is going to sila is going to follow. So that your mausul, right? Wherever mausul goes, sila will follow it, right? Laysa. Where is the ismu laysa? Who is the ismu laysa? Hidden. Very well done. Mustatir huwa. Barakallahu feek. What is li? MBK. Right? What is bihaqqin? So this is ba. So this is khabru. Khabru laysa with ba zaida. Alaysa Allahu. Real quick. 2 minutes. Ismu laysa. Lafzul jalala. Right? Lafzul jalala is ismu laysa. Bi alama. This is your khabru laysa. This is your khabru laysa. Now comes bishakirina. Now what will we label this? It is mutaliq bil khabar. Very well done. This is mutaliq bil khabar. Very well done. Bishakirina is mutaliq bil khabar, and bi alama, more knowing is going to be your khabru laysa. Yes, only one khabru laysa. This is the khabru laysa. Mansoob mahallan majroor lafzan, this is MDK. Because alama or alima, ya'lamu is a word that comes with ba. It uses ba with it. So that is why I know it is mutaliq bil khabar. It is related to my khabar. It is not another khabar by itself. Because is Allah not more knowledgeable? Is Allah not more thankful? Making sense? Is it making sense? Allah, ma'azallah, is it making sense? That is Allah more knowledgeable? Is Allah more thankful? Appreciative? If it was to be for that purpose, it would have been singular. It would not be plural. Though Allah uses it for himself, nahnu, but then entire thing is, different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the majestic we, but that is not the context here. Here, alaysa Allahu bi alama, more knowing. Is Allah not more knowing of those who are thankful, of those who are grateful? So this is related of those who are grateful. This is related to with your more knowledgeable, isn't it? Is this clear to everyone? And you also do the same thing. You make the English connections as well, like I showed you. Is Allah not more knowledgeable? Is Allah not more grateful? No, it does not make sense. It does not work like that. So that way you will have more clarity in your, in your mind, that what am I doing? It's not making any sense. Okay, so I have to stop here, and inshallah make sure you finish your work and submit it to Sister Faiza, inshallah, and we will do the rest next in our next session, if that's okay. And I'm going to teach you min zaida in our next session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.